Hello all. How are you doing, every one of you? I am doing something that I haven't done for a while. I am going to focus on my COPD. I don't generally focus on it. I talk about it, but I don't want everybody just thinking that's me. That I am this person with COPD that's my life. Because it isn't. That's why I display all the other things that I do involve myself with in my life, or as much as I can. Being a former nurse, I have a tendency to want to go clinical instead of letting myself get hooked up in feeling sorry for myself. Oh, believe me, I have those days too, but it's easier, I guess, for me to process in a clinical way. However, I want to be honest about it with how it affects me personally. And some of this will be very similar to how other people with COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, are affected, but not completely, because our personalities are different, our interests are different, our level is different. Each of us is affected different. We all live in all different places. So weather affects COPD in a big way. And where you live depends on what your weather's like there as to how it affects that particular thing about your health, whether it's COPD, asthma, heart conditions, whatever. So, here is my first bullet point. I actually made some. Okay, so what is on my mind? Obviously, my COPD. What does it cost me? I'm not going to talk about what it costs me in money. That's different for everybody. I'm on medications, oxygen, I have doctor's appointments, all of that. Thank goodness for insurance and Medicare, because I am on disability. I have emphysema. I have smoking-related asthma as well as allergies. I never really thought of myself as having asthma so much when I was younger, but after all that smoking, then I do believe I developed it. Although allergies run in my family, so I've got those too. And chronic bronchitis. That one I don't particularly attribute to the smoking at all. A lot of people who have COPD never smoked in their lives. A lot of it depends on your environment. But when I was a child, I had a tendency to develop bronchitis a lot. So I just remember having some nasty bronchitis quite a bit growing up. It is a combination. But what it costs me personally, I don't have a pet. I miss having a pet. I very much enjoyed having my Sheltie dog that I used to have. Unfortunately, after she passed away, after a while, I did get a dog from my son. I loved him so much, but he was just so hairy. And so we put him out. We put him on a chain just outside the back door so he could come in on the porch, and I would have fun with him there, but sent him away because I just didn't like him having to be chained up like that all the time. And then I tried having a cat. That's because I let a stray in the door. I started feeding this little stray kitten that we found under our porch. And I started feeding him, And pretty soon he was just so cuddly and cute and everything, but my husband gradually managed to get him out of the house, and he would not let me bring him back in. So that was the end of that cat. I mean, he's still around. He's wandering somewhere. I don't know. He wasn't really our cat. I just kind of took him in, but I think the neighbor did too. So there's the pet thing. So I decided I would make myself some pets. And they're Rosie and Buster. Don't have them out here tonight, but you'll meet them sometime if you haven't already, or go back and meet them. They're usually around somewhere. They're my puppets, and they are chatty little things. As far as, getting out and doing things. I love it when I can. Weather does affect me a lot. Humidity, can't handle it. I just cannot handle very much humidity at all. If it's over 50%, I'm not really going outside. And if I have to, it's because I have to go to an appointment or something, and it's just not that easy. It makes the air heavy. Now, I think most people who have problems with breathing will understand what it is for air to be heavy. And so I can't take hot showers because you have to close the shower curtain. And I do still take a hot bath because I leave the bathroom door open. It's just my husband and I now. So I leave the bathroom door open so I can take a hot bath because I do not like cold baths. I don't like lukewarm baths either. And however you want to tell me that does to my skin, sorry, that's one luxury I just don't want to give up. We bought a pool a few years back, and that was before I got the really bad pneumonia, and my husband thinks that's what really caused me to get the really bad pneumonia, because I was so enjoying it, and I just loved getting my head underwater, because being weightless and swimming underwater in that pool was just, but it wasn't a community pool. It was our pool at home, and my husband did take care of it very well and everything, but he still thinks it probably, that was probably what, and I didn't want to agree with him, but since I haven't been back in the pool, I had pneumonia once. I was only in the hospital for a weekend, and just enough to get it under control, and then they sent me home. So I may have to give in to him on that one. So there's a lot of things that it won't let me do, but there's so many things that I've discovered since. And one thing, it's not something I discovered, it's just something that I now take the time to do. I just was too busy before and just did not make myself take the time to do it. And that is to write. And I'm about ready to publish my 4th book. I've been reading my first published book. I'm about ready to publish my 4th published book. But I've written a lot of short stories that some I've used on here, some have been in magazines here and there, online. Unfortunately, a couple of those magazines are now gone, so I can't hardly refer to them. I've written poems that have been published in local newspaper, and for friends, and things like that. It's just something that I always wanted to do in my life, and I've finally done it. When I was in school, I wanted to be a nurse. One thing I always wanted to be was a mother, and I'm a mother and a wife, and I love that. I wanted to be a nurse, and I wanted to write. I couldn't decide whether to go into nursing or journalism. Well, I never needed to go into journalism, because now I'm writing on the creative end, and I'm loving it. So there are so many things it's allowed me. I have been learning to do so many hobbies. I never had a green thumb in me. I didn't think it was possible. And now I have this garden out on my porch, and I'm growing a whole windowsill in the kitchen full of succulents, and I'm just loving it. And I'm learning from watching others on how to do that. I've been learning to make I bought a whole bucket of these beads a year or two ago, and I made a bunch of necklaces out of there. And now I've started working with the polymer clay. If you watched the other day, I made a puffy heart. A lot of things that I've just found that I can develop an interest in. This is a key thing for a lot of us, not just me, and not just with COPD, with any person in their life. You don't have to absolutely have an interest in something. You can develop an interest. That's exciting to me, because you don't have to have a passion for it to begin with. If you're a process person, then you find a love in learning how to do it. You find a way to get interested in it. I got interested in learning how to play the guitar. My music teacher gave up on every other instrument with me. My eyes wouldn't track. I've got a muscle in my eyes. It just does not track across a page of music. But chords, I do just fine. But I haven't played it in a long time. But the thing is, you can really develop, no matter what you are, right? I mean, you can be busy and get yourself so wrapped up in your work that you forget to make yourself get involved, which develops an interest in even your own family. I mean, I worked shifts and weekends, and a lot of times it was hard for me to develop. I mean, I always had a relationship with my kids, but you come home, you've got cleaning, you've got this and that to do, and you can't blow off steam at work, no matter how frustrating your day is, because you're in a facility where you're taking care of people. And I'm off topic again. But no matter where you are or what you're doing in your life, you can find a way to develop an interest in something. So even if you are riddled with fear or whatever, that's one thing that can really help with that fear. Now here's where I want to finally go. One thing that has been most important through my whole road of life, no matter what path it is, no matter where I veered off on the wrong way, I get brought back, and that is my faith. Not everybody's going to agree with me on that. But for me to get through this and to keep my head up, to get over all of those little things that make me feel bad about myself I might feel one day, or whatever mistakes I've made that I want to beat myself up with again, it's always my faith where I can go. But the thing of it is, I have to come back to my faith. That's where my strength comes. And my faith is in Christ. Personally, right in here. A lot of people don't understand how he reveals himself to you. It's a foreign language. And I'm not going to preach to you on how that works. I understand that to a lot of people, it's like a foreign language. But there it is. It is almost 100%. It's my faith and the things that I know that God has given us through sciences, through attitude adjustments, through therapies. He's given us all of these people in our lives. And whether they know that or not, I don't know. Some yes, some no. But he's placed them there. He's given them the hands, the minds, the hearts. And he's given me the heart, I hope, to at least appreciate it enough to tell him thank you and that I know that. And that's going to be it for tonight. God bless you all. Please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up, because I like you and I want you to like me, but I can't make you. Please smile and wave wherever you go. People need that friendliness no matter what. Love you. Good night.